You're an addict too. They're an addict. It's not like they're out there not being an addict.
Right.
We're all in this together is what I'm trying to say, you know?
Exactly.
This thing is basically like everybody doing heroin.
Yeah, so the point is, if you were Typhoid Mary a week ago, learn from the mistake. Don't be Typhoid Mary today. That's all we can do.
I guess that's it.
It is.
Yeah, people are mad at those kids that are, partying. But,
Hey, Eric.
so I just got this thing set that's so fucking stupid. A bunch of superheroes saying to a doctor, "Welcome to the club." Look, none of you are real heroes.
I'll
You're
wait for a
fucking
few more
drawings,
people.
Okay? Or you're people acting out drawings. So dumb.
Yeah.
I think one of the worst things you could do in a time of need is to draw a funny cartoon about it.
It says everything.
All right, it's the Bennington Show. We're just hanging out with you today. A lot of people are mad at those kids in South Florida. Do you have any of that audio, video?
All right, here we go. It's Thursday. I'm going to try to smile a little more today. Wasn't feeling good yesterday. Had some kind of stomach issue. Might have been those 4-day-old tamales that I had for lunch. I've just kind of been scrounging, trying to conserve food, which is ridiculous because we have plenty, but waste not, want not. I don't know. But it's Thursday. How you guys doing? This is the drive-in. I'm on Bee Cave Road. Another kind of hazy day. And just literally got out of my pajamas. Well, I don't have a whole set of pajamas, just the pajama bottoms, if you can imagine that. Just got out of those bad boys about 1:30. So, which is not to say that I've just been lounging around doing nothing, because as you see from the title of this volume episode, Mr. Fix-It. That's right. Been fixing stuff around the house, and got up at 7 this morning, and then got on a conference call with my financial advisor. That's always fun. That's always good news. And then wrapped that up and proceeded to start tinkering around. I replaced the double wall outlet, a plug. Yes, I did. And that had been burned up by a heater. I don't know if you know, but in the wintertime, I don't turn the heat on in my house. And so there's a couple space heaters in key rooms, and then everybody has a hoodie and a weighted blanket, and everybody has to deal with it. It's just, heating is just, where I live is so expensive. The propane costs or whatever is so much that, there he is, it's Chip. Been here every episode. So, so I replaced that, turned off the breaker, got that thing in, and it's working. It looks good. Doesn't look all burned out like the other one. Did my wife thank me? No. Nothing. No thanks. And then I had this, I've got this Marantz receiver. It's a Marantz 2245. And I know by taking it apart this morning that it was built on February 24th, 1973. It's got about 60 watts aside. I don't know, look it up. It's got about 60 watts aside. I got it at Sound Gallery from Robert. By the way, Sound Gallery's closed, which is kind of sad. They're closed temporarily. So, I'm going to have to get my vinyl from... I have to feed my turntable from other sources, I guess. But I took it out of the case and popped the top and got in there and got some electronic spray. I had a scratchy volume pot that I had to spray out, and then keep twisting the knob a couple hundred times to work that cleaner in there, and sounds pretty good. Put it all back together. Cleaned as many of the pots as I could get to, the potentiometers, I guess they're called. The selector switches and the volume balance buttons, tone controls. Got as many of those cleaned out as I could. put it all back together and gave it a test run. I also did a little work. I had a little out of commission Sony direct drive turntable from probably the 80s, probably from my early 30s that I bought. I don't remember exactly, but also got that working, and that had been offline since probably 1980 something. So I put those two together, set up myself a little headphone listening station in my office, where I already have a couple of other systems, but this is kind of like all vintage, and plugged in my Grado headphones and got out Stevie Wonder's Inner Visions, which I didn't even know I had. I didn't even know I had Inner Visions. I was just flipping through some stuff, and there it was. I don't know when or where I picked it up, but it sounded good. It sounded good in those Grados, and so I just sat in my office for a while listening to some tunes. So that's trying to do more of that. I'm just trying to relax into this whole thing. You know, part of me wants to work all the time and do stuff around the house, but I always, ever since I was a kid, I felt, and this is the old Catholic guilt. Hi, by the way. Hi, Amy. This is the old Catholic guilt kicking in. I know when I was a kid, anytime I was home from school, you know, I would be guilted into not doing anything. Just, you know, sitting around doing nothing. Couldn't play ball, couldn't go to the pool. You know, you couldn't do any of the stuff, you know, it was just bad optics if you did anything but be sick. So all these days lately have felt like kind of sick days, where it's like, I don't know, you're not really sick. You're just kind of lounging around in your pajama bottoms till 2 in the afternoon, wondering what you should do, and you feel a little guilty binge watching or listening to music. But no more, I say. Let's enjoy these snow days while we can. Let's be safe. I've not washed my hands and used hand sanitizer as much. I don't want any of us to be lulled into a false sense of security, because I just haven't had the news on for a couple of days. If it wasn't for Dale's Corona Crazy segments, I really wouldn't know what's going on. Just trying to stay focused on getting the stuff that I need and keeping my hands clean. But let's not get lulled into a sense of false security. Let's keep it up. Let's keep the cleaning up. But let's have some fun, right? I read an article, I don't know if it was the New York Times or somewhere yesterday. Can't remember. I think I saw it on Facebook, but there was a guy saying, hey, you know, get out 3 of your favorite albums and listen to them back to back. I know we kind of gotten into the mode of just listening to songs and downloads, but if you do have a system, if you can find a way to get a small vinyl system and just pick out 3 albums and listen to them. Just carve out the time, put your phone on a charger in another room, and just carve out the time to listen to what these artists have poured their heart into. Sometimes in the case of like the Beatles or the Beach Boys or whatever, Phil Spector, even though convicted murderer, they spent months just tens of thousands of dollars just on individual singles and songs. But just to spend that time looking at the album cover, I mean, it felt good today holding that Inner Visions cover and just looking at the artwork, and it was pretty cool. And it had the album has the extended version of Living in the City. Still looking for little taglines during the crisis to open up the show. My friend Shay Riley came up with the Masters of the COVID Disaster. That's pretty good. I might roll with that one today, but if you have any, send them along. If you have any questions, I'll try to read. There you go. That's the way to go, Eric. Don't get lulled. Don't get lulled. Yeah, you should listen to albums in the correct order. You know, side 1 and then side 2. You can't shuffle an album. Yeah, so that felt good to get a couple things checked off my list. My wife has a large dining room lighting fixture that I'm going to have to install in the next couple of days. And anyway, that's it. Yesterday last night we played a game called, we got everybody, all 5 of us at the table, and we played a game called, what it was? I was on Instagram. I put it on Instagram. What's it called? And now I forget. Damn it. Damn this broken brain. Incoherent. Not incoherent, but incoherent. It was a fun game, and it had some has an adult part to it, and that's kind of cool. That made it interesting. We had a lot of laughs. We picked up some food from Tony C's, trying to support local restaurants, though, yeah, just trying to support local restaurants. And it was good to have a meatball sub last night. So, but it was weird going to the Galleria down in Bee Cave where that location of Tony C's is. It was about 8 o'clock at night when I picked up the food after work, and it was ghost town. Ghost town. The wind was whipping, and it was kind of dark and gloomy, and it just felt weird. It felt really, really weird. But we had a good time last night, and then tonight I'm told that Caden and I are beginning Game of Thrones. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if my heart is in it. I don't know if I want to make an 80-hour commitment. I'm not Mr. Fantasy, as I explained yesterday. Am I going to like it? I mean, is it that good? Is it going to be, for me, like what Mad Men was, or Mrs. Maisel, or am I going to feel like I'm watching Star Wars, which every once in a while is okay, but, you just can't get it. Is it the thing where I'm just not going to be able to keep track of all the characters and families because of my broken brain? I just like stuff that's easy to watch. I keep going back to Inception, that Christopher Nolan movie. I still don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it. That happens sometimes. Sometimes I'll go to one of those Marvel movies. There's so many things. There's so many plot lines. So many different things and references that I just check out and look at the pretty pictures. So is that what I should do with Game of Thrones? Should I just look at the pretty pictures and thrill at the sight of fire-breathing dragons? I guess they're dragons. I don't know. Puck Bunny says I'll like it. I don't know. What if I get like 39 episodes in and I want to punch out? What if I want to punch out at episode 3? I don't know. If I didn't watch it by now, why now? There's got to be something else out there. But don't do Game of Thrones with your kid. Shannon, I'm going to watch it with my 21-year-old, Caden. I know there's rape and pillaging and all kinds of stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. Plus, we're going to watch it in the theater, and I don't know if I want to burn out a whole projector bulb on Game of Thrones. See, these are the things. These are the third world problems that I have. And, or first world problems. I don't know if I want to expend the resources on Game of Thrones. I just don't. Just knowing that I didn't like other series of that ilk, never was into Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. I'll give it a shot. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll pop some corn and we'll watch. How many episodes? Can I knock out 2 episodes a night? I touch my face. See, I'm lulled into a false sense of security. Touch my face. So how you guys getting by? What are you doing? What are you doing to stay sane? How are you managing? Are you able to relax? Are you looking at this as a much needed vacation? Even though there's the constant sword of Damocles over your head of a disease, I guess, that you can't see. going over the bridge. Sorry about the shaky cam. Going over those splits in the road there, those dividers. So I think that's pretty much it. I don't have much today. Feeling a little more optimistic than I did yesterday about life. Though I know I don't think anything in the news has particularly changed. I just feel like shutting down these businesses and people social distancing and taking it seriously has got to ultimately help, though I do feel for the people that are on hiatus right now. Ran yesterday, did not do any exercising today, giving my body a day of rest. I can't figure out why I was so shaky yesterday. During the show, I was really shaky, and I had some stomach issues, and I don't know if it was from just too much exercise yesterday or just not eating right, or what it was, or if it was the Jameson from Tuesday night. I could have had a mild hangover yesterday, very mild, but I've got to figure out different mounting. I want to give you different angles in the car or in the Jeep. I've got to find out different mounting systems because I'm just doing the phone right now. But anyway, I guess I'll leave you with that. I booked Bob Schneider on the show today. He's gonna call in. I just kind of want to find out what some key personnel around town are doing to get through this. And I know he's doing a online concert series from his house, so I'm going to let him promote that, and maybe he'll give me a password. I'd like to check that out. I know somebody sent me a link to a DJ in town that's doing like 4-hour dance parties on Saturday night. You might look that up. I can't remember the DJ's name. It might be in our show prep today. That could be something fun. Just looking for different things. I'm enjoying being with the kids. I'm trying not to be a grouch. Even though I wasn't feeling really good, I did step up and play that game last night, and we all had some laugh time, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. Good times, and had some good food and all that. Support your local restaurants. Thank your HEB employees, and take care of your family. That's all we can do right now. I'll leave you with that, and have a good afternoon, and we'll see you in just a few minutes on Dudley and Bob with Matt, 93.7 KLBJ FM, and peace out.